everybody. We just wanted to go over a few things and tell you what happened yesterday with the Fed. So it's pretty significant. Darin, what happened with the Fed?
Yeah, so the Fed met yesterday and they actually didn't really do anything. They just said a few things, and what happened was it signaled to the market that they feel like inflation is at its peak and will likely come down. So specifically, they said that they are not going to raise interest rates in 2024, and not only that, they will likely cut interest rates in 2024, maybe 3 times, could be more, could be less. But what happened with that and the announcements isn't that they actually cut rates, because remember, they didn't do anything, but they signaled to the market they felt like the cap of inflation was here, and that it was highly, highly significant, had a huge effect on the marketplace just yesterday.
Okay, so what was that effect? Did mortgage rates drop?
Yeah. So mortgage rates themselves actually dropped in a historic way. We had some lenders that changed pricing as much as 3/8% in rate. Some were even pushing 0.5% in rate. And that's a huge drop. Usually you'll see rates on a big swing day maybe move by 1/8%. So that was a big, big move for long-term rates. Yeah. So what fuels that? Just so you know, what fuels that? The Fed, when they raise and lower their rates, they're not raising and lowering mortgage rates. Okay, everybody thinks they are. They're not. They have short-term rates, but the market makers, these big institutional funds that buy mortgages on the back, right? They um, have been out sitting on the sidelines of the marketplace for the last year and a half, because inflation erodes mortgage rates. And so nobody's been wanting to buy these mortgages as much as they normally do. And so it's been pushing rates up over the last year and a half. So now when these market funds see that the Fed is serious and they're like, oh, wow, the Fed is going to put a cap on this, all of a sudden, all these buyers start dogpiling in and start buying up these what are called mortgage-backed securities, and that's what's pushing rates down real quick. It came in really hot yesterday.
So that's such great news. What is the rate right now compared to what it was maybe a month ago?
Oh man, that's a great question. So let's go back about 2 months, because that's when rates were pushing over 8%. We had some lenders and some programs that were well over 8% just 2 months ago. But get this, I had a lender that came in price today. I had to write it down here. So they priced in today on a conventional 30-year fixed loan, okay, on a purchase at 6.125 with an APR of 6.328. So this is getting down to almost 6% without huge significant buy downs. So to get to those rates, we've seen really, really big buy downs as much as like 2 or 3%. And now, to get down to that area, you're looking like 0.5% or less, which is really cheap. And, a lot of times sellers will end up absorbing that.
That's awesome. Great news. Because I
In fact,
know in
in
real
fact,
estate,
Stacie, sorry, a week ago, there were rates that were still pushing over 7%.
right. And because of the high rates, everybody's either paying cash for homes or sitting still. There's nothing going on.
Yep.
But what's this going to do with the house prices coming up 2024?
Okay, so obviously crystal ball stuff, but check this out. Many people thought that this last year with the higher rates, that it would drive house prices down. But it didn't. House prices stayed about where they were. In 2006, 2007, which we lived through, house prices crashed. But the difference was back then there was about 4 houses for every one household that needed one. And now there's, how would you say it, half a house. There's 2 households that need a home for every home that's available. So that imbalance, that supply demand imbalance, is keeping those house prices up. Even with the higher rates, it just kept it up. So now with rates going down, it could possibly unleash another huge group of people onto the marketplace that now can afford homes, which will now create more demand and possibly have upward pressure on home prices.
Right. So what do you recommend home buyers, sellers, new construction people should do coming up 2024? What is the plan? What should they do to get ready, especially with lower rates? Maybe how do we plan ahead?
Okay, so keeping in mind that for every 1% drop in interest rates, nationally, it unleashes about 5 million new qualified buyers. Okay. And inventory has not been able to keep up with all of these buyers. So right now we have kind of a really good balance where the rates have come down to within striking distance of a lot of new buyers. Um, but we don't see, a ton of upward pressure yet because it takes a little bit of time for some of these things to come through the market. So anybody that's interested or that's been sitting on the sidelines, hoping for some kind of change in the market, some kind of equilibrium, well, just today and yesterday, a lot of equilibrium started moving back into place. Okay, so that could create a lot of upward pressure. So if it were me and I was thinking, hey, I want to get the best price on a house, I don't know if I would delay and wait for 8, 9, 10 months to see what happens. I would start getting serious about getting in the game, because if rates go down even further, another percent or so, then that could potentially change a lot with a lot more buyers coming in on the marketplace. So just remember too that mortgages can be very fluid. It's generally speaking, most people don't end with a mortgage that they started with. So something always changes. They have opportunities potentially to refinance, those kinds of things. And so, but the house price is the house price. Whatever you buy that house for, you're stuck with that price forever. Tell you something.
That's that's right. So jump on the house right now if you can. So
Yep.
maybe what should we suggest? Going forward, we want to map out, maybe put your priorities in order. What do you want in your house? Get all that mapped out so that when the time comes and you find that house, you're ready to just jump on it and go.
Yep, that's right. So there's a lot of pieces that you need to put together. You mentioned one, the priority of what you want in a place. Um, the priority of what it looks like if you have a home to sell to get to the new one. And then, so we have a system for both of those that we help with. We have a system for helping prioritize the new place, what you're looking for. A lot of people don't think through that really in a thorough way, so that's very, very useful. And then we also handle the mortgage side, so we do it all. So Stacie and I, we handle everything. We handle the mortgage side. We handle helping you prioritize, handle helping you out with all of those other things. And so the key is you don't want to be in a rush. So even if you think you're say, like a year out, and you think, well, that's a long ways away. Well, what I've seen over 22 years of this is a lot of people say, I'm out forever. I'm going to buy in a year from now. And then something changes. And in 4 weeks, they're coming back and they're saying, hey, I found this place I really want, and I want to buy it like pretty much right now. So it's funny. It happens so often. So anyway, so we always recommend, if you're thinking about wanting to do anything like this in the near future, give yourself 12 months. The time to start mapping it out is right now, where you look at your numbers, because that's a big piece. You want to get pre-qualified, look at what those payments look like, where you want to allocate your assets to get the right mortgage. And then of course, putting together the mapping out that house, getting that right house.
Right. And also, we're really good at marketing to list the house, right? And sell it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's
So,
part of what we
kind
do, the marketing agency.
right. So, if you have any questions, if you want to reach out, do you need help with anything, we can totally help you. Just DM us or text us at 80.
Okay, I don't know if my side totally froze, so I don't know if you're or sorry, your side froze. So you said 801-758-5505 is the number. And you can text that number. Stacie and I will both get that. We can talk mortgages, we can talk real estate. We talk marketing. We do that marketing side on listing. So all of that stuff. So anyway, I don't know if you're still frozen on your side, Stace, but you're frozen on my side. So I don't know if we're talking over each other or what, but anyway, okay, cool. I hope this was really helpful, and I hope Stacie didn't have a heart attack or anything. So I'll have to double check on that. But anyway, okay, hope that's helpful. Reach out to us and let's map out your next steps. Talk to you soon.